Hello there, it's Sean, and welcome to the Complete Script Training. If you are live with us for this premiere, give me a hashtag live in the comments. If you're watching the replay, which many of you will be down the road, give me a hashtag replay in the comments. Let me know who you are, where you are tuning in from. Are you an appointment setter? Are you a closer like me? Are you a business owner with high ticket offers that you want to learn how to close more confidently, more proficiently for yourself and get to the point where you are good enough to eventually hand it off to someone else to replace you down the road? Share your thing, your experience, your story with me, because how I know how to create this is because I've listened to your feedback. A lot of you are asking me on the how to do this, how to do that, what to say, and don't say like, hey Sean, we must buy your paid stuff, then you teach us the how. Not true. Okay, if you go to seansena.tv, which is this YouTube channel, and you sort my videos out based on the most popular, okay, you'll see that the top 3 or 4 is free courses, free training, where I'm giving out all the how. I'm talking about my experience over the last 5 years, what I've done, what I've been through, the highs and the lows, and I teach the techniques, the hows as well. So that's my intention to give you all the what, who, when, where, how. In fact, okay, you don't have a how problem. Okay, and I do invest as well, right? But the problem is, if you invest in, you spend your hundreds and thousands of dollars and you don't know what's behind. Okay, that thousands and thousands of dollars can be used to feed families, okay, for long periods of time. So I don't want you to have this feeling of, oh, I don't know what's behind, and then I buy. I want to show you what's behind first. Okay, and then if you want the actual paid stuff, okay, there's only one thing for you to buy. I don't sell them separately. Check the description in the comments, in the description section. I put everything that I've ever created and I will create into one bundle. And that bundle has everything. And all the hows that you can possibly think of, I've probably already answered them. My students have probably already asked me before. I've probably encountered them myself before, which is really important because I don't teach theory. I don't sell theory. Okay, theory is when they say, oh, if they say this, then you say this. Okay, whatever I'm teaching is based on the last 5 years of full-time remote closing experience. If it has worked, I've taken it and I've made it a part of my expression. If it doesn't work, I've left it somewhere else. Okay, so this is the best of my work that has worked for me. And then I document it, I organize it, and I put it in a clear sequence, a step-by-step sequence that anyone can go from zero to intermediate to advanced to building a full-fledged, full-time remote closing career like myself. And whether you are an appointment setter, a closer, a business owner, it all works the same. You can just apply because we are all in the business of high ticket sales. Okay, so leave your feedback, your questions in the comments. It's important for me to raise and increase the quality of this content and the growth of this channel. Okay, so what is my intention for creating this piece of training? Like I said, first I want you to experience my work. I want you to understand how I teach. I want you to experience my content. And above all, I've already done a lot of trainings on how to get opportunities, on your brand, on your strategy, on your mindset. And once all of that is established and you've gotten an opportunity, your brand is great and you have offers to sell, at the end of the day, what we all do, okay, even as appointment setters, as closers, as business owners, at the end of the day, what we do is to close. Whether you close on text, okay, you could use what I'm teaching today and implement it on text. The psychology is the same. You could use what I teach today and close a business owner to close for them or to set for them or both. If you are a business owner yourself, you can also use this to close more sales for yourself. So I want you to really experience, especially for those of you I know you are watching my videos because you might be in a 9 to 5 or a different thing currently and you're researching on how you can do this. Okay, this is a great way for you to really picture yourself, and you can use this to practice with a friend, someone you know, and to really just experience at the end of the day when I do remote closing, I sit down, I get on Zoom or I text on my phone, exactly how am I conducting business? Exactly what do I do as a remote closer? Exactly what am I saying on sales calls? And I know a lot of you tell me, I don't have experience. I don't even know what I'm getting into. I'm not even a good talker. Or I have an accent. I'm from a particular country. I don't even know what to say. I don't even know if I can do this. I don't even have experience. But then all companies are testing me on my experience. All companies are testing me on my skills. And it seems like the only way I can get help, the only way I can get a good preview of this space of what am I signing up for is to spend my thousands and thousands of dollars. And I don't mind investing. You know, if it's good, if it's going to get me my ROI back, why would I not invest? The issue is if I don't even know what I'm investing in, I don't know what's behind, I don't even know what I'm signing up for, then it is a risk, right? I know because I am in the same position as you. I understand. Okay, so I want to show you exactly what's behind. Okay, so you have that clarity, and if you want to go all the way with this, that's great. If you want to come in and do like what I do, that's great. At the very least, I hope this gives you a peace of mind that it's not some mystery. It's not very complicated. I'm sure you and I have done way more difficult things, you know, physically more demanding things. Remote closing, I'm seated down in my room. I'm behind my computer. It's air conditioned. Just sit down and talk, you know, sit down and text. How difficult it is. And then I've done things that are even more mentally challenging than this. Like I went through university. I wasn't a very good student because I couldn't understand at least like half of all the modules. It's all like maths, you know, and that kind of thing. I don't even know what I'm studying. I can't even pass the exams. I almost got kicked out of school. And those things are so difficult to understand. I don't know how my friends do it, but I don't even understand anything when I was in school. So to me, if I can understand this sales script and to do sales, I don't think it's that difficult. It's just talking to people in the comfort of your room, your home, your aircon, your Wi-Fi. Okay, so don't overthink it. Don't doubt yourself. Okay, I'm going to show you the entire flow of a sales call. So eventually when you meet a prospect, when you text a prospect, when you engage a business owner, this is exactly what you're going to say word for word. Okay, this is exactly what you are going to be executing word for word. So I hope that this gives you a good feel, okay, a good gauge of, oh, now that Sean has, you know, gone through this sales call with me, Sean has covered this script for me, I don't feel like it's that difficult. I don't feel like, you know, it's a mystery. I don't feel like I have to invest thousands and thousands and then I get some diluted stuff. I might as well just study Sean's stuff and just use it. You know, if you use this script right now, you could close like today. You could close a business owner, you could close a sale if you already have an offer, and worst case scenario, you take this and you practice. Okay, now don't copy my stuff. Okay, don't steal my stuff. Okay, make it your own. If you want access to this script, okay, reach out on social media. Say, hey Sean, I've seen your complete script training. Do you mind sharing this document with me? Okay, ask nicely. Okay, don't spam me. And if I miss the message, because there's a lot of messages in my inbox, okay, just bump it up. Okay, and worst case scenario, even if you take it, at least you don't feel like, oh, I have nothing. At least you don't feel that, oh, I got no experience. At least you don't feel, hey, I'm completely naked and here I am trying to figure this out, and then there's no one to teach me. There's no one to explain to me. They either give me theory and it's thousands of dollars and I don't know what's behind, and I'm so stuck. I have to come to YouTube and study Sean's stuff. Okay, so let's get started. Respect the syntax. Okay, and I know, okay, when I say syntax, I mean the sequence, okay, the structure, the progression of a sales call. And I know, okay, different scripts, different coaches, different companies might change a little bit. Okay, they might talk about goals first instead of pain first. They might talk about pain first instead of goals first. They might have this philosophy that I don't want to sell based on pain. I don't want to talk about pain. Okay, and there's no right or wrong, because if you ask me, every call is the same call. And I can say this after taking hundreds and thousands of calls full time as a remote closer. I make my money from closing. Okay, and all these calls I've taken, I can tell you that every call is the same call. It could be a different offer, it could be a different prospect, but in terms of the progression of the call, when you first meet a stranger, what do you start with? Do you go straight to objections? No, right? When you first meet a stranger, do you go straight to commitment? No, right? There is a logic, there is a why. There is an explanation behind why phase 2 comes after phase 1. And yeah, different coaches might teach different sequence, but in this case, okay, I have my own understanding and explanation behind why I structured this script like this. Because if you skip the syntax, if you disrespect the sequence and you mess it up, you're jumping around, you go through current situation, then you blah blah blah, then you realize, oh, I forgot to cover the goals. You talk about all this and then you realize, why is that prospect not present? Why is the prospect not committed? Oh, I didn't talk about pain. I didn't cover all the bases. I missed out something. Well then, can I just circle back to pain and talk about it again? Yeah, you can, but it's not the same. You know what I mean? It's not the same anymore. Time has passed. The prospect has talked a lot. They might be tired. They might not want to repeat themselves. Okay, so respect the syntax. Type in the comments below. Respect the syntax. Okay, write this down in your notes. Respect the syntax. There is a reason why the syntax exists. Okay, and what you're seeing here is the best script, okay, that I've put together. Because after all these years, I've closed for so many different offers, I've joined so many different teams, I've bought so many different scripts myself. I've taken the best, and I did not copy, I did not plagiarize. I've taken the best from what has worked. Okay, I've retyped it in my voice. I've reorganized it in a sequence that makes sense for me, okay, based on my understanding, based on my purpose and reasons. So I would say this is mine, yet at the same time, nothing is original. So even if you do take this script and you use it, okay, please, please, please make it your own. Okay, make it your own, internalize it. The last thing you want is to feel like a person attached to a script. The last thing you want to feel is like a person, you sound like a script. The last thing is you want your prospect to feel that they are talking to someone who is a script. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so if you notice, okay, on that note, when it comes to rapport, I don't really have a script, because there might be some scripts that say, talk about the weather, ask about the time. Okay, this one, just do it from your heart. Okay, whatever kind of person you are, however you connect with people in real life, if you don't like small talk like me, then that's you. Like, rapport is really one of my weakest areas, because I'm not very good with small talk. Okay, a lot of times I break the rules, I go straight into business. I just, based on the form I've seen, okay, and then I just talk about their application. Okay, however, there was this once, I broke every single rule. I just rapport with the person for 60 minutes. I got the sale. Okay, so just speak from your heart. Okay, if there's something you're genuinely concerned about, talk about it. If there's something you're genuinely curious about, just talk about it. Okay, how are you in real life? How do you make someone feel comfortable? How do you make someone feel normal? Okay, your energy, your own habit. Of course, if it's a weakness like for me, then we have to work on it. Okay, then we have to practice. Okay, but I would say don't script this part, because this is the best chance for you to make a maximum impact by connecting with the person. Okay, and once you don't have that presence, can you imagine if I met you and I say, hey, thanks for meeting with me on this call. My intention for this call is to understand how you're currently doing in your business. And then, you see, how will you feel? It's ridiculous, right? So for rapport, just speak from your heart. Just look into the person's eyes and say whatever comes to your mind, and then that will be it. Okay, how long, how short, that's really up to you. Okay, like I said, sometimes I just skip straight away and I go into the application. And then there are times where I just rapport all the way and it still works. So do you. Okay. At some point in time, you will have to frame the call. Okay. And you will have to say something like, my intention for this call is to understand you, where you're currently at in your business, what are you currently going through, what problems you might be facing, and if we can help, I'll gladly walk you through how we help our clients go from A to B. Okay. If not, that's cool as well. Okay. And when I said that, I wasn't looking at the script. I was just saying from my intention. That's really my intention. It's really, really what I want to achieve on this call. So when I say it, it's going to sound right and it's going to feel right. Why? Because it's really, really what I mean. But can you imagine if I say, hey, as well as clarify some of the details we've seen from the application you've sent through, then we'll walk you through our 6-figure business system, and then we can see if it's a good fit. Sounds good? Okay, see how ridiculous that sounds? So yes, you read the script, you have a script, and you practice, but you can never make someone on the opposite end feel that you are doing that. Okay? So for the purpose of this training, okay, we're gonna use a generic offer and let's just call it the 6-figure business system, 6FBS. It doesn't even exist, okay, and let's just price it at 7K. Okay, a very important thing you have to do at this point, very, very important. Okay, if you are new to this, write this down. And those of you who have closed sales before, you know. You 100% absolutely have to check who are the key decision makers that needs to be on this call. Okay, and there are two ways you can do this. You can ask directly, and you can tell them why you're even asking that. Say that I don't want to, get into a situation where it's the end of the call, and then you tell me that, oh, you have to talk to your business partner, talk to your wife. Hey, if there is anyone that should be involved in this application, that should understand, let's get them on this call. Let's reschedule. And sometimes they will lie to you and say, oh no, I am the key decision maker. I have a few business partners, and you have to observe that. They'll say, hey, I have a few business partners. Okay, so should we get them on the call? No, I am the key decision maker. And then they lie. Then at the end of the call, when they start to pull back, they will say, oh, I have to discuss with my business partners first. Okay, it's a complete waste of time. So just call it out, okay, and be firm. Okay, what type of business partners? Everyone has 30%. Okay, I think that's quite significant. I think everyone should be informed. Everyone should be respected. Let's go ahead and reschedule. Okay, with your wife, is it your husband? Let's go ahead and reschedule and be firm. Okay, they will respect your leadership. Okay, and worst case scenario, just be direct. Okay, are you here just to get information, or is there something we need to solve? Because like if you just want information, I can send it to you. We don't need to have this call. We can free up both our calendars. I'm sure we both have things to do. Hey, be firm. Okay, if this is not your style, if you don't want to be that direct and firm, okay, then you just check. Okay, does your wife, does your husband, are they aware that you're on this call to apply for this program? Do you have any business partners, teammates that should be in the loop? Did you notify them? Are they aware that you have applied for this program? So should we involve them as well? Okay, if you ask me, I like to be firm. Anytime in your gut you feel that there's something off, you must talk about it immediately. Because if you let it go, it's just gonna build and build inside, and it's gonna come back and bite you. So as long as you're not sold on something, talk about it. Talk about it immediately. Hey, I have this feeling like, it's better to get them on the call. Okay, because really at the end, a lot of people will just try to block with a smoke screen and say that, yeah, I gotta talk with my wife, I gotta talk with my husband, I gotta talk with my boyfriend, girlfriend, I gotta talk with my business partner. That's when you wish that at the start you really clarify. Okay, so once that is done, we enter phase 3, which is, by now they're feeling comfortable with you, by now they've assured you, they've convinced you on why they are the key decision maker. Okay, now it should be about less than 5 minutes. Okay, so we immediately go into current situation, and there's a lot of ways that we can do this. In this scenario, it's a business offer. Okay, so we will talk about business. Okay, so we will say, you've seen our ad, so you've seen our webinar. How did you find your way here? Okay, there's a lot of cheesy ways to say. I don't like to do that, but there's a lot of people that say, what motivated you? What motivated you to get on this call? Okay, so if it feels cheesy for you, don't say it. If it feels right for you, say it. For me, I'm very casual. I say, so you saw our ad? Okay, why? Because I want to make it clear that this is a business call. There is an offer. We are two adults here, two business people talking here. Obviously, if there is a problem to be solved, come on, there will be an investment. Who's on Zoom to chit chat? Who is on Zoom to talk about all your life's problems? And then do absolutely nothing for it. For what? Okay, I'm not a counselor, I'm not a therapist, so I want to frame that energy up front and say that you saw our ad, what did you see? You saw our webinar, so you know what we do. Okay, something like that. And what's relevant to you? What was it that caught your attention? Okay, it feels right for me, I mean it, so when I say it goes through. Okay, you can say a variation of this, it doesn't matter. And then you want to really clarify. In this case, if it's a business offer, exactly what do you do as a business owner? Exactly what is your business about? Okay, you want to use words like exactly, precisely, specifically, okay, to remind them that it counts. Okay, don't give me some vague thing that I don't understand. Okay, be clear. Exactly what do you do as a business owner? What type of business? Even if this is a relationship offer, fitness offer, okay, it's the same thing. Okay, exactly what is your background, okay, and what have you tried so far? In this case, it is a business offer. So if this offer is to help you get leads and clients, and a lot of business offers are into that, okay, what have you tried so far? Okay, this immediately frames this conversation as to you have tried a bunch of stuff and it's probably not working. That's why you probably needed to book this course along that line. They will get it. So as they tell you, this is my business, this is what I've tried, take notes. Whether it's old school notebook or like me, you open up a Google Doc and you type, take notes. Okay, and then once that is all down, you want to check. Okay, so you've tried method number A, Facebook ads. You've tried method B, Facebook group. You've tried method C, webinar. And you've tried method B, cold calling. Did I miss out anything else? Okay, you want to make sure that everything is addressed. These are the things that they have tried currently up to this point. And once you have all their existing methods, okay, I'm just using business offer as an example, but really it could be for any offer, like what you've tried up to this point, what you've tried. So you list, and then based on all these things that you've told me, what is the result up to this point? Okay, what is the result up to this point? Which is, In this case, it's business. How do we measure result? Okay, if it's fitness, what's the indicator? If it's relationships, what's the indicator? Okay, whatever your offer it is, there has to be some kind of a indicator to say, up to this point in time, since you've tried all these things, so what's the result right now? Where are we at? Okay, per year, per month. Okay, so your current process, because they are here because they have a goal, right? They're here because they have something they want to achieve, right? So up to this point in time, from A to B, what do you have? So the process of you trying to go from B to C, from here to your goal, is there a process? This process thing is very important because we are trying to seed, okay, this idea that without a process, you don't have a system, you don't have a way of getting results, and that needs to be illuminated. Okay, I repeat, that needs to be illuminated. So once you have laid out all the methods, okay, most of the time, most of the time, when you lay out all the methods and you look at the results, most of the time, you will see that they have been going in circles. They might know it, they might not know it, but they're obviously on this call because of it. Okay, if they know it, get them to admit it. If they don't know it, get them to realize it, ask them, and then admit it. Okay, how do we guide them to do that? You cannot tell them, because if you tell them, telling is not selling. Okay, if you tell them, hey, you are going in circles, how would they feel? How will you feel if someone tell you, hey, you're going in circles? Okay, so we don't do that because it creates a lot of negative resistance. So based on what I'm hearing, you've tried A, B, C, D, your results are here. Therefore, can I say that you don't actually know how much it costs you to get a new client? And they might ask you, what do you mean? And then you have to elaborate. Therefore, would I be right to say that you don't actually have a predictable process in place to get results? And they might ask you back, what do you mean by predictable process? And you have to explain. Okay, because this seeding of what is a predictable process is extremely important. Why they want to buy a solution? Because it gives them predictability, it gives them stability. Okay, so once they are able to admit that, you know what, yeah, I think I don't have really a process in place, like what you said. I don't have that predictable process. I don't even know how much it costs me to get a new client. I don't even know what I'm doing next week. I don't even know what I'm doing. Oh shit. Okay, once they're able to tell you that, and this is important, it's they tell you. Okay, it's they tell you. Now you can easily bridge into pain, and this pain is half the sale. It's so important. The moment someone becomes sold on their problem aware. Okay, so this issue of not getting the ideal weight you want. Okay, if it's a fitness offer, this issue of not having your dream partner, if it's a relationship offer, right? In this case, it is a business offer. So if we talk about month after month, you have clients and then no clients, it's unstable, it's unpredictable. We're going to expose the problem, right? So how long has this issue been going on? And do you have any idea why? Okay, they might know why, they might not know. So other than all these methods, have you tried to reach out to any other experts? You want to check for competitors, right? Have you booked calls with anyone else? Have you invested? Are you planning to invest with anyone else? Like, are you currently searching, or, are you looking for something, a solution? Where are you at? So when this business is not stable and you're not getting the results you want, and it's been 5 months, is it affecting any other areas of your life? Okay, so here you have to check. Okay, these 4 questions in red, you want to check if here they are selling you They're selling you on why it's an issue for me, why I'm stuck, okay, why it's affecting me everywhere. Okay, if you are sold, that's great. But here's the thing, sometimes people have pride, so you try to dig for the pain. If your rapport is not strong, they don't want to tell you. So if you feel like you are not sold, if you feel that you are not sold on why this prospect needs to change, then don't proceed. Because the last thing you want is just to talk to a information getter, someone who's wasting your time. If you are not sold, then you ask the questions in purple. If this business is not stable and you're having to chase clients, is it a big problem for you? Just ask. You want them to tell you, yes, of course it is a big problem. Okay, if they're like, no, I'm just here to find out more about you guys, you're probably at the wrong place. Because if there's not that much of a need for change, we probably shouldn't be speaking, because there are people that really need our help. So I'm not really sure, like, what's the worst that could happen if we don't solve this? Your business is not that bad. You're doing some good months. So why not just continue doing that? Okay, so if you're not sold, then you're not sold. Okay, you don't have to play games. And this is not some technique that I'm teaching you. If you are not sold, don't proceed. They have to really convince you on their pain and their problem. And even if we don't talk about pain, they should at least sell you on why solid change needs to happen, and it needs to happen now. They should sell you. So you just ask them. If you find that you are the one telling them how serious this is, it's over. Okay, you should not be the one telling them. So are we at a place where this has to be solved, like right now? Or, is this important to solve now? ASAP or no? Why? Why? Ask why. Okay? So once they have fully sold you on their problems and why this has to be solved and why their current methods are not working and why they're not really wanting to go to someone else, okay. So when you are feeling secure with that, okay, you can see that, you can feel it. Okay, you really have to assess with your gut. If you're not sold, okay, loop this until you're sold. If not, you push them back. Okay, a lot of times when you push them back, they start selling you even more. Okay, because at the end of the day, this is not a game, this is not a trick. If you yourself, you're not committed to change, there's not much I can do as a closer. Okay, so you either sell me or we're just wasting each other's time. Okay, that's your mentality. So once you are secure with that, you talk about goals. So we've covered a lot of the painful stuff. Let's talk about the good stuff now. So 12 months from now, where do you want this business to be? Okay, or depending on what the offer is. Actually, why did you want to build this business? And if you do succeed with this business, what's the vision? And how will this impact other areas of your life? Okay, now you want them to sell you why they must move towards the heaven. We've already covered the hell. Okay, you already sold them on the hell. You sell them the heaven, you sell them the hell, you sell them the process. Okay, that's the 3 big sales. So now we're gonna get them to sell us on the heaven. So at this point, just listen to them, support them in their vision. If they're aiming a little bit low, okay, tell them that I feel like you can do much better. I feel that you can do more than that. Okay, support them in their vision, because we've already, dug a lot of pain by this point. By this point, it's probably about 20 minutes. So we're going to do another 4 or 5 minutes on the goals. Keep it under 25 minutes. Okay, under 25 minutes. And if you have some case studies that's relevant to them, hey, our client A, he was in a similar position as you, good months, bad months, no clients. And then after he implemented our system, in 90 days, he made 80K. Okay, or a client B in the same country as you, he or she had similar problems with you, and then after implementing our system, okay, they made this amount of money in this amount of time. Okay, because this is a business offer, so we're just going to talk about business wins. Okay, but you get the idea. You want to seed them in. Why? Because you want to remind them that at the end of the day, this is not a chit-chat call. This is a business conversation, and I will share my clients with you because why? Why? Potentially, you could be a client. We could be doing business together. Okay, so I don't want to shy away from it. I'm always seeding my program. I'm always seeding my process. I'm always seeding my clients, because you don't want at the end they say, hey, you've been talking to me for so long. Oh, suddenly you have something to sell me. Okay, no. Okay, like right in the beginning of this video, I already told you that I have a bundle where I put everything together, and that's my only one offer. Right? You get it, you get everything. Because you want to be direct. You don't want this sudden surprise. Oh, you have something to sell me? Okay. So at this point, something really important needs to happen, which is they have sold you on their problem and why they absolutely need a change. They have sold you on the heaven and why they must go there, right? And there's still one issue, because at the end, you don't want them to say, I'm gonna watch more YouTube videos and then figure this out on my own. Okay, because sometimes they can back out with that reason. So you want to ask them, it's been 6 months, right? And you've been figuring this out on your own. You've been stuck at this level, but your ultimate goal is to get to here. You want to go from A to B. Is there anything stopping you from doing this on your own? Okay, and of course, if they want to, be an ass and tell you that, yeah, I can watch YouTube, I can download free stuff. Really? If that worked, why are you stuck for 5 months? Okay, of course, you don't have to say it in my tone, but you can say it in your style, your way. You might be harsher than me, you might be nicer than me, doesn't matter. But we want to illuminate the BS, which is, YouTube and the kind is for people to understand what's available. At the end of the day, a system, a done-for-you system, a proven solution, isn't that what's going to, change the game? Unless, you want another 5 months of YouTube? You really want another 5 months of YouTube? And depending on how you say it, if you do it right, they will drop the mask and they say, like, honestly, I don't, and I don't know how long I can go on without guidance. I don't know how long I can go out without someone teaching me, guiding me, mentoring me on how to do this. Really, why? I need to do this faster. I could watch YouTube for 10 years, but who wants to do that? I need to do this faster. I need someone with a proven thing. Okay, you want to at least hear at least one of these three to say, oh, okay, and who sold who? Did you sell them on why they need help, or did they sell you on why they need help? This is very important. If you're the one telling, you're not selling. Okay, they have to be the one to admit these things, that I'm in pain, I really want to get to here, and I can't because I'm stuck. Okay, and I need help from you. And at this point, once again, if you are sold, that's great. If you are sold, that's great. But in your gut, okay, in your heart, if you feel like he's kind of at like 70% there, but the energy is not right. He's making sound like, okay, yeah. So you don't feel like, is this guy really in? I have doubts. Okay, so if you have doubts, it's very important to address this. Okay, so you want to guide them through, like, hey, help me understand this. The last 5 months of you, wasting time circling around the old methods that don't work anymore. This life of always having to chase after clients, like, we're done with that, right? Are we done with that? Okay, you want to hear, yes, we are. I'm absolutely done with that. Okay, and then you need to ask again why. If you're not sold, you have to ask why. Okay, If they hesitate, it's like, well, I could try, and they are wishy-washy, okay, you have to call it out. You must call it out. If you don't call it out at by now the 30-minute mark, you drag it out for 1 hour, and then they are back to, you're wasting a lot of time, right? So check and say, let's be clear, are we going to keep the old way and continue doing that for another 6-12 months? Like, are we at a point where we absolutely have to change and build something new, build a system, build a predictable system, or build a systemized, sustainable business? Okay, whatever the words that's relevant, you say it. Okay, if you're still not sold, say, how serious and committed are you? Okay, the reason here is we really want to bring out the emotions. Okay, as closers, we know if someone is in because we feel it in their voice, we feel it in their energy, we feel it in their commitment. If you don't feel it, okay, don't proceed. Most of the time, if you don't feel it, in the end, they're gonna cleverly try to back out, which is a complete waste of time. Okay, so along the way, because you're asking so many personal questions, is it possible that they cut you off and say, hey, can you stop asking me, all these questions? Like, I know this is a sales call. Can you just tell me how much it costs? Can you just tell me exactly how your process works? Okay, what are these people doing? They are not respecting the syntax. They are not playing ball. Okay, they are disrespecting the leadership of the authority, the salesperson, and you are the expert. Okay, can you go to a doctor and say, doctor, can you stop asking me all these questions and just give me the prescription? Then I ask you, how is the doctor going to give you the prescription if they haven't even diagnosed you? Do you want to die of eating the wrong medication? Of course, we are not going to say that on a sales call, but it's like, look, you're here to get help, and I will get to that in a moment. A lot of times, if you just say, I will get to that in a moment, it's enough. You say it once and they get it. If they push you twice, you say, yes, I'm about to get into the investment in a moment, okay, then they get it. If they don't get it and they push, okay, then you really have to be firm. Look, there is a process we have to respect here, because if we are going to do business together, I need to understand you. And if I don't understand you, how can I give a proper diagnosis? And then what if we make a mistake? What if it's not clear? So I will get to those things in a moment. I need you to cooperate. Okay, you have to counter them back and stand your ground, because if they hijack the call and they mess up your syntax, okay, your influencer listen to the sales call, okay, they are going to question you on how can you let the prospect hijack your call. Okay, so once your syntax is up to this point, you're at phase 8, okay, then you can just transition to your process. Okay, what is your process? Okay, depending on the offer that you close for, okay, they will give you a process. Okay, once they're fully committed, they've assured you, they've sold you, they're all in, okay, check one last time. I'm going to share my screen and talk about our process in a moment, but just before that, based on everything we've covered so far, you've been struggling for 5 months, you've been trying this bunch of methods, to summarize it, okay, and you're stuck, you're not knowing what to do. Did I miss out anything? Okay, here when you say this, they will remind you about the really, really important stuff. So a lot of gold will be there. Okay, if they say, yeah, I want more thing, okay, listen to them. If they say, nope, all good, you've covered everything, that's great. Okay, so before you transition, because you're going to need a few seconds to share your screen, and in that time you ask, how much do you currently know about us, our company and our process? Okay, and let them talk. Okay, and if they're right, let them know, hey, you're absolutely right, this is what we do. And a lot of business owners, they struggle with this problem. They don't have enough clients because they are winging it. They don't have a proper system in place. They can't generate customers on demand. And they're burnt out from trying what everyone else is doing. They take free advice from random sources, and in the end, they're stuck with unqualified leads. They don't know how to get clients. They don't know when the next client is going to come from. Okay, but with us, it's different. Okay, and this is a little bit of BS here, depending on what a company wants you to say. Okay, but here, in this script, we will have to sell that, what we have is a complete system that brings you inbound qualified clients that will apply to work with you on autopilot. Okay, would you like me to walk you through our 6-figure business owner process? What am I doing here? I'm already seeding the idea that there will be an investment, because this is our paid solution. Okay, that is how direct you have to be. Okay, and the slide itself, the company will supply you. I don't actually have a proper process to show you, because this is a made up offer. Okay, but when you close for a company, they will give you like a slide deck. Okay, they will give you some graphics. They will give you access to the backend offer. So you walk them through and say, okay, so when I say a predictable system, when I say a complete system, here's what I mean. Okay, then you do a screen share. Like for example, for my own program, okay, I can't share other people's program because I've signed like NDAs and stuff like that, but I can share my own. So I will walk them through my formula and cover the things that they're struggling with, and depending on what's the angle, okay, I've prepared all these processes, okay, to educate my prospect on if they work with us, if they become a client. This is the timeline. This is what we're going to establish together. Okay, this is how my method is different, and then these are client results of people who started in your same position, and then they've implemented, and then they've gotten these wins over the course of working with me. Okay, so I will walk them through the process, but in this case, you just use whatever the company gives you. Okay, and then if you do a great job, okay, if you do a great job at walking them through your process, your methodology, your unique system, what you're going to cover, okay, the timeline of the delivery and the expectations, and now in their mind, okay, previously they were emotionally sold. They were like, oh, I really got to do this, I really want to build this, okay, and then when the logical mind kicks in, they'll say, what happens here? And then in 7 days, what do we build? And then in 14 days, what do I get? And then in 21 days, what happens if this happens? And then day 30, what if I need to travel? And then do I get this? Yes. Do I have this? Yes. Is it you who is coaching me? Yes. Do I have access to you? Yes. How many times a week? Once. And then what happens in the influencer cycle? Okay, this happens. So right now, what we have achieved is logically, they are clear on what is the thing that they're buying into, and emotionally they are already sold. Okay, so when you have fulfilled this, I will say that you've really done a great job. You have really done, you have covered all the bases that you need to cover. Okay, urgency, you check for competitors, you check for consequence, you have the goals, you have the pain, like you have checked every box here on the script. Okay, here's where the magic happens. They will start asking you questions. Okay, what they really want to do is ask you about the price, but sometimes if they are not emotionally ready or mature enough to go for that, they will start dancing around to ask you questions. Okay, then it's fine, you just answer them. Okay, and they will ask and ask and ask until they know that, okay, I have this, and what is this, and I get this, and I have this, and then I have this. Okay, now I'm fully clear. Okay, what do you do now? You just wait. A lot of times they will shoot you the investment question. How much does the 6-figure business owner program cost? Okay, here you need to discern. Have you covered all bases? Have you fulfill all the check boxes? If it's a yes, talk about the investment. Just tell them the price. If it's a no, if you feel that they are not sold on the process, if you feel like they are not clear on the process, if you feel that they have doubts, okay, what you do, you ask. Yes, I'm happy to share with you the investment. Just before that, process-wise, any doubts? You say that. Okay, why? Because if there are issues with the process, it's gonna come up when they talk about the price, and you don't want to confuse the price with the decision. The decision is the decision. The price is the price. If you have the decision, you will make it work. So if there's no decision, why? Is it because you doubt the process? Is it because you doubt our founder? Is it because you doubt what's going to happen in this section here? Okay, so process-wise, do you have any questions? Process-wise, do you have any doubt that if you follow exactly this process, you will get the result that we talk about? Do you have any questions on that? Okay, what you want to hear is, Sean, I understand your process. I think it's incredible. It's what I want. I have no doubts about it. That's what you want to get. Okay, then when they say, okay, investment-wise, how much does it cost? Okay, you say, okay, and this is some script that, most scripts will have. For me, I just say 7K paid in full. That's it. Okay, for 7K and you build a business, okay, probably one sale, you already made your investment back. So to me, this is a very no-brainer price. A lot of great offers are no-brainer offers. Okay, so if you trust the offer, if you have used it yourself, if you are sure about the solution, 7K paid in full. Okay, a lot of people will read the whole thing. I don't like to do that. I just say 7K paid in full. Okay, and then just wait. Don't talk. Don't justify yourself. Don't say this is a steal. Don't say, oh, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get this, you get. Don't say. Just wait. Because you say, you tell them all the benefit, their mind is getting overloaded. They already know what they want. They already know what is their concern. Okay, if they need support, okay, they will ask you. So just wait. You wait, then they will tell you the real thing. Okay, a lot of times what they say are all smoke screens. So never mind, just play along, answer. And sooner or later, you will get to the point. Okay, if they say, yep, I think it's something I can do. It's doable. It's something I could do. Then you know, okay, what are these buying signals? If you hear a lot of yeses, if you get a lot of yeses, if they start to ask you on, so 7K, then what happens after that? Onboarding call, I transfer you to the delivery team, and then 3 days from now you get activated, blah blah blah. You know they are more and more in. Okay, if they are like, yep, let's do it. Okay, then yeah, just credit card number, take it, onboard them, and then okay, next steps. That is already a close. Okay, the only difficulty that comes in is when they are dishonest with their intentions. And instead of being direct, they dance around. And then they start questioning you on all the different nuts and bolts. But actually, they don't really have a problem with the nuts and bolts. What's happening is they don't have the money and they want to save their face and they want to back out in a very prideful way. So they just want to make it look like you don't have your shit together so that they can end the call. And then you can make a mistake. So if you sense that that's what's happening, call it out and say that, look, I think early on when we covered the process, you mentioned that you have no doubts, right? And everything looks great. So right now you are, throwing me all these technical questions. I have another call in about 15 minutes, so I need to be direct with you. Do you see yourself implementing this solution? Because if you want to back out and it's a no, I can take a direct no. Okay, so what am I doing here? I want to really just clarify. Is the issue with the process? Do you have doubts? Do you have doubts in the process? If it is, let's talk about it. But if it's a money issue, and you're not able to, move forward, just be direct with me. I can take a direct no. Okay, most of the time, when you go for the no, when you insist on the no, okay, your prospects start to feel like, he's supposed to chase me, he's supposed to make a mistake, but he doesn't even want the sale. What does that mean? Oh, he has a lot of sales. He's so secure with his clients that he doesn't even want to chase me. I must be missing out big time, and I don't want to miss out because I've been stuck for 5 months. So Sean, if I really do this, then how fast can I see results? Okay, so now you know they're back into the buying conversation. Okay, so a lot of times it's because we are not willing to be direct. That's why they don't be direct. So if you allow yourself to dance around, if you are the one that's not firm, don't blame the prospect for being wishy-washy. Don't blame the prospect for hiding. Don't blame the prospect for being indecisive, because we are the ones as closers. We should lead the call and just say, look, from what I feel, a part of you wants to do this and a part of you is not sold. Have I done a good job walking you through the process? Do you feel like this is generic and similar to what other people are offering? If it's so, you can just let me know. Okay, most of the time when you say that, they will start selling you on, no, Sean, process-wise, this is what I want. So then, what, you worried about what your wife is going to say? You worried about what your husband is going to say? Is it a funds issue? What is it? Okay, in the end, if the process is clear, if the decision is clear, then 100% of the time it is the money. So if it's the money, cash flow wise, where are you at? The investment is 7K. How close are you to that? Just throw me an estimate. 20%, 50%, or you're just not sold on this at all. Okay, a lot of times, they will tell you, they'll review a part of their budget. So then you have to see, okay? Because in some offers, you can take a deposit down and then negotiate on a monthly payment. Sometimes you can split up the payments. Sometimes there is a way to get loan, get credit. But most of the time, it shouldn't even get to here, because when people book calls, they should be properly qualified and they should indicate their spending power, their ad budget and things like that. So more or less, the expectation is clear that I'm coming to Zoom is a business investment. Okay, if I have no money, why the hell I come on Zoom just to chit chat and talk to a therapist, talk to my counselor? No, right? So most of the time, if it really gets down to that, it's really how can we structure a proper deal, okay, so that it can go through. Okay, the worst case scenario is that person just don't have the money, or rather I should say they just not willing to make it work. And even the best closer in the world, okay, there's not much you can do. What, you put a gun on the head and say buy now? No, you cannot really force anyone. At the end of the day, we are closers. We are not mind controllers. We are closers. We are not God. So if it's already 40 minutes, we have already covered all bases and they are not sold on themselves. They're sold on the process, they're sold on the decision, and not sold on themselves. Okay, really it is their decision to go back to their old life and another 5 months of hell. We cannot save anyone. When that happens, just review your call. Okay, and then you write down 3 things that you've done well. Okay, because this needs to be carried over to the next call. 3 things you can improve. Okay, take ownership for your call, and then 3 action steps that you're going to take to further improve yourself. So 3, 3, 3. Okay. So, but that's really an exception. Most of the time when you cover all bases and everything is checked, okay, you will collect some significant form of payment down, and then it's a recurring payment, or it's paid in 2 parts, or it's paid in full. That is a high ticket close. If you're a business owner, congratulations. Okay, now you have your dream client. Okay, cash flow is coming in. You have sold yet another one of your offers. If you are an appointment setter, you get paid because the closer just closed. If you are the closer itself, congratulations. Okay, you've done a great job. You've done a complete call, and then this is what we do as closers. So it's not that complicated. Yes, it's not that complicated. Okay, objections wise, okay, it's always time, money, spouse. Time, money, spouse themselves. Time, money, spouse themselves. And if you can get the decision, a lot of times it's not the spouse. Okay, get them on a call, talk to them. Okay, ultimately it's about what's best for every party involved. Okay, it's seldom a time issue, because if it's a decision, the decision is now, then time is just a smoke screen. Okay, it's even the money issue is also a smoke screen. So if it's a smoke screen, just call it out, just be direct. Are you sold on the process? Does the process make sense? Do you see yourself getting the ROI back? Okay, if it's not clear, then that means there's one part of the process that requires improvement. One part of the offer that requires improvement. Okay, but at the end of the day, hey, if it's a smoke screen, call it out and say, what's the real issue? What's the real issue? Should we end this call now and then, it's over? Or what's the plan from here? What's the real consideration? A lot of times when you get to this point, you know what? Actually, that is when the real sales call starts. A lot of times it's like that. You go through smoke screens for 40 minutes, and then in the end, the real conversation starts when you think the sale is over. Okay, and then it becomes a loop. Okay, so assuming that each call you can get 40-50 minutes out of it, then you really want to time yourself well to make sure that your performance is consistent for every single call. Okay, so this is the complete script, and I hope that this training gives you a clear picture of when you take a call as a closer, when you take a call as a business owner, or when you set calls, or even when you type and sell stuff on chat. Okay, the psychology, the progression of a sales script, more or less is always like this. It's just a matter of some scripts with really, OCD on everything they want to put inside, or some scripts are very diluted and empty. So this is the perfect blend and balance that has worked the most consistently for me. It's very respectful, it's very open, it's very direct, yet not confrontational. So to me, this is the most harmonious and balanced blend that a closer can use to consistently perform throughout most offers and get consistent results. So go ahead and start practicing now. Connect with your fellow closer, seller, business owner friends and practice and apply. And if you have a question, just reach out on social media and text me, say, hey Sean, I've seen your complete script training, and here are my thoughts, here are my questions, here are what I need help with. And if you need extra help, check out the resources available in the description. From a fellow closer to another, I also want to be direct with what I can provide, what I can help you with. So I'm not gonna, I've taught you to be direct here, so I would think that if you need extra help with me, we will be direct with each other as well. I'm happy to be transparent with all the upgrades, all the offers, and all the extra help that I might be able to give you. So any questions about that, just send it my way. Reach out on social media, say hi. Comments, questions, feedback, leave them in the comments below. And that's it for the complete script training. I hope you've enjoyed this, and until next time, it's Sena, and I will see you in my next video. Cheers.